Hello? Earth to PokeKellz! It's high-tech maniac Alex here! Hey! Remember how we do this show every week where we do trivia and battle strategy for a different Pokemon? Hey! Ever heard of the Dex? Did you just shush me?
I'm trying to think.
About what?
Do you know how weird Porygon is?
I don't know. I always imagine that, like, if you went into the computer, like, you know, in Tron Legacy, that there'd be Porygons floating around in all the lakes.
What?
Though, come to think of it, I'm not sure I saw too many lakes in that movie. And is it Porygon or Polygon? Aren't they pronounced the same in Japanese or something?
Are you real?
What do you mean, am I real? Is Porygon real? What's got you so messed up in the brain? He's just some weird mouthless computer bird. Wait, does he have a mouth?
Does he have a mouth? What the? Ugh, look, Porygon is the first Pokemon made entirely out of programming code, and it can revert back to code at will. Don't you see how crazy that is? He might be the key to all of our questions about PC boxes.
Oh yeah, but he's so ugly, like really bad graphics. And look, I know he's man-made, but he's so rough, like a work in progress, you know?
You're like a dumb genius, that's true. Porygon's first evolution is an analog for the evolution of 3D graphics, especially the concept of subdivision surfaces.
Oh, is that where you like start with a crude shape and then you use like a weird mesh thing to divide the polygons into smaller shapes until it looks smooth?
Why do you know that?
I read it.
Read it?
Yeah, pretty interested in smoothness. That's why I like Porygon 2 so much. He's like way smooth. Smooth 0.0.
Well, when you're right, you're right. And surprise, I guess we're talking about the whole Porygon family this week. We should do this more often, huh? Anyway, Porygon 2 is like the upgraded version of Porygon 1.
Oh, so that's why you evolve him with an upgrade. Oh. But then why does Porygon Z use a dubious disc? It sounds pretty sketch for how vague it is.
Oh, it is. What's probably gonna happen when you put a weird disk in your computer? You get viruses, and look how weird Porygon Z looks. He's all mutated and weird, probably all screwed up with malware. Too many torrents.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Look at his eyes. He's bugging. Did you know he was programmed to travel to alien dimensions? Maybe that's what messed him up.
Yeah, even his Pokédex entries say that there's something wrong with his program. Poor little guy.
Well, you can't feel too bad for him.
How do you figure?
Didn't he cause a bunch of seizures a while back?
Not exactly, and don't be so insensitive. It's time for this week's ridiculous segment. It's Pokebusters.
Oh, dang it. I knew I should have brought my beret.
You've all heard it before. The Porygon episode of the anime caused seizures all across Japan, and they banned the episode forever because a bunch of kids died or something. But that's not exactly how it went down.
Wait, it's not? But tens of thousands of kids reported symptoms, and the episode has never aired again. They stopped the show for 4 months after it all went down. They almost canceled it. And Porygon hasn't been featured in an episode since.
Well, yeah, all that's true, but the frames which caused the seizures in Electric Warrior Porygon were actually a result of Pikachu, not Porygon, using an electric attack on a bunch of virus-filled missiles.
And maybe I did read an article about how only a small fraction of the kids showing symptoms were ever diagnosed with photosensitive epilepsy, and how that still didn't account for the breadth and pattern of the events reported by a long shot.
Exactly. These events were much more consistent with something called epidemic hysteria, which can be set off by sudden anxiety after hearing a dramatic report in the mass media. Millions saw the show, and the flashing technique, known as paka paka, is used all the time in Japanese animation with no ill effects. It was a dirty trick of the mind.
So Porygon's reputation was tarnished by a crime he didn't even commit that may or may not just have been the result of the technological revolution recreating the world in the form of a global village, and that our reliance on mass communication gave the novel nature of the Porygon incident added significance?
What?
What?
What did you just say?
I don't remember.
Incredible.
Busted?
Hey, that was super weird and insightful there at the end, man.
Whatever, I'm a Pokemon master, not a cultural theorist.
Okay.
Hey, wanna learn how to use Porygon Z in Gen 6?
Heck yeah!
Let's do it, baby!
Porygon!
Porygon Z is a great sweeper with its monstrous 135 special attack stat, and its awesome ability download practically gives it a free setup. Start with a modest one and super train it in special attack, speed, and HP.
Download detects your opponent's weaker defense stat and gives you a boost in the corresponding attack stat. Switch in on someone with low special D and use agility to double your already decent speed. Be careful about using it too freely though, he's kind of fragile.
Get all that in place and you're ready to sweep. Use Psyshock and Dark Pulse for type coverage and round it out with Tri-Attack for stab. You're unstoppable after one turn. That's the beauty of Porygon Z.
Tri-Attack also has a 20% chance of burning, paralyzing, or freezing the enemy each turn. What can't our little Porgy do?
Not much. Of course, that's not the only way to train a Porygon, so as always, here are a few random thoughts.
Using Ice Beam instead of Dark Pulse can also be great depending on the team you're battling, so scope it out and choose well.
Another way to go is to use Porygon 2 holding Eviolite and giving it Recover instead of Agility. Tank much? Tank much.
And finally, using Life Orb and Nasty Plot with adaptability instead of download can maximize damage output at the cost of your speed. Think about it.
And that's it, the Porygon family. Guess he is pretty neat for a weird Mode 7 bird thing.
If you like what you saw today, go ahead and subscribe and make sure to leave your comments on who you want to see next down below. I'm PokeKellz.
And I'm High Tech Maniac Alex. Tune in next week for your regularly scheduled programming on
TheNationalDex. Well, yeah, that's all true, but the frames which cause the seizures in the Electric War
And the episode is never aired again. They stopped the show for 4 months. 4 months out of the year. They stopped it for 4 months.